It's 11 o'clock at night. Your baby has been yawning for the past hour. Their eyes are red. Their little fists keep rubbing against their face. Everything about their body is screaming, "I'm tired." But they won't sleep. They refuse. They arch their back. They cry. They fight it with everything they have. And you're sitting there exhausted, wondering why. Why would anyone fight the one thing they clearly need the most? Most parents assume their baby is just being difficult or that something is wrong with their routine. Maybe the room is too bright. Maybe they ate too much, maybe too little, and the internet doesn't help. One article says your baby is overtired. Another says they're not tired enough. A third says you're creating bad habits. But what if I told you that none of these are the real reason? What if I told you that when your baby fights sleep, something extraordinary is happening inside their brain? Something that most parents, and even most doctors, never think about. Here's something most people don't realize. During the first year of life, your baby's brain is forming over 1 million new neural connections every single second. Let me say that again. 1 million per second. That's more brain activity than at any other point in a human being's entire life. More than during puberty, more than during college, more than during anything. By the time your baby is 3 years old, their brain will have roughly twice as many synaptic connections as yours. Their brain is not just growing, it's building itself, piece by piece, connection by connection. And every single experience, every sound, every touch, every face they see is raw material for that construction. And this is the key to understanding why they fight sleep. Imagine you're at the most incredible event of your life. Every second brings a new sensation you've never experienced before. New colors, new textures, new sounds, new faces. Everything is fascinating. Everything is worth paying attention to. Now imagine someone tells you, close your eyes and stop experiencing all of this. You wouldn't want to, right? That's exactly what your baby is going through every single day. Scientists now believe that babies experience what researchers informally call biological FOMO, the fear of missing out, but at a neurological level. Your baby's brain is in what neuroscientists call the exuberant period, a phase of explosive synaptogenesis where the brain is producing connections at a rate we'll never reach again. And every moment of wakefulness is a moment of learning. The brain literally does not want to shut down, because shutting down means missing out on building blocks that will shape who they become. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and where most parents get completely confused. When a baby stays awake too long past their natural sleep window, their body releases a hormone called cortisol. You probably know cortisol as the stress hormone in adults. High cortisol makes us anxious and wired. It's the reason you can't sleep after a stressful day at work. The exact same thing happens in your baby. When cortisol floods their tiny body, something paradoxical happens. Instead of getting sleepier, they get a second wind. They seem more awake, more energetic, more wired. And this is the trap that every parent falls into. You see your baby acting alert and you think, maybe they're not tired yet. Maybe I should wait. But the truth is the exact opposite. That burst of energy is a stress response. Your baby isn't more awake, they're overtired. And the more overtired they get, the harder it becomes for them to fall asleep. It's a vicious cycle. And it's not your baby's fault, it's neurochemistry. There's another piece of this puzzle that most people never consider. Adults have something called a circadian rhythm. It's the internal clock that tells your body when it's time to be awake and when it's time to sleep. It's regulated by light, by melatonin, and by decades of habit. Your baby doesn't have one yet. Newborns are born with an immature circadian rhythm. It begins to develop around 6 weeks of age, but it doesn't fully mature until somewhere between 3 and 6 months. Some babies take even longer. What this means is profound. Your baby's brain literally does not know the difference between 3 in the afternoon and 3 in the morning. Day and night are the same thing to them. Their body is still learning to produce melatonin at the right times, still learning to respond to light and darkness, still calibrating the most basic biological clock that every human depends on. So when your baby fights sleep at 10 p.m., it's not because they're being stubborn. It's because their brain genuinely hasn't figured out that 10 p.m. means sleep. They're not fighting you. They're fighting a clock that hasn't been built yet. There's one more factor that makes this even more complex. Have you ever noticed that your baby's sleep gets worse right before they learn something new? Right before they roll over for the first time, right before they start crawling, right before they say their first word. This is not a coincidence. Neuroscience research has shown that during developmental leaps, the brain enters a state of heightened reorganization. New neural pathways are being formed, old connections are being pruned, the architecture of the brain is literally being rewired. And this rewiring process is incredibly demanding. The brain needs time to practice, time to process, time to consolidate. And guess what the brain's favorite time to do all of this is? During sleep. But here's the paradox. The very process that makes sleep so important also makes it harder to achieve. The brain is so active, so busy reorganizing that it struggles to transition into rest mode. It's like trying to shut down a computer while it's running the most important update of its life. This is why pediatricians call them sleep regressions, but they're not regressions at all, they're progressions. Your baby isn't going backwards, their brain is leaping forward, and sleep is the price they pay for growth. So here's what no one tells you. When your baby fights sleep, they are not misbehaving, they are not manipulating you, they are not broken. What they are doing is building the most complex object in the known universe, the human brain. Every night when your baby fights sleep, their brain is processing the thousands of new experiences they had that day. The way sunlight fell on the wall, the sound of your laugh, the texture of the blanket against their skin, the way your face changes when you smile. All of this data, all of these experiences need to be sorted, stored, and wired into permanent connections. And that process is so important, so consuming that the brain sometimes doesn't want to start it, because starting means admitting the day is over. And for a brain that's building itself at the speed of 1 million connections per second, every second counts. And when they finally do fall asleep, that's when the real magic happens. During sleep, especially during REM sleep, which newborns spend about 50% of their sleep time in, the brain begins its most critical work. Synapses that were formed during the day are strengthened and consolidated. Memories are moved from short-term storage to long-term storage. A special substance called myelin, a fatty coating that insulates nerve fibers and speeds up brain communication, forms around neural pathways. This is why researchers say that your baby learns while they sleep, not metaphorically, literally. The brain is physically changing its structure during sleep. The connections between the left and right hemispheres of your baby's brain, they're strengthened during sleep. The neural circuits that will eventually allow your child to speak, to reason, to feel empathy, they're being wired while your baby sleeps. Sleep isn't the end of learning. It's the second half of it. So what can you do with all of this knowledge? First, learn your baby's sleep window. Every baby has a moment where their body is primed to fall asleep. For newborns, this window can be as short as 45 minutes after waking up. For older babies, it's longer. When you catch this window, sleep comes much more easily. Miss it, and cortisol takes over. Second, create what scientists call a low stimulation transition zone. This means dimming the lights 30 minutes before sleep, lowering your voice, turning off screens, reducing new experiences. You're essentially telling your baby's brain, the data collection phase is over. It's time to process. Third, don't fight the fight. If your baby is struggling to sleep during a developmental leap, understand that their brain is doing something important. Be patient. Be consistent with your routine. But don't punish the process. The brain surge will pass, and on the other side, your baby will have a new skill they didn't have before. And fourth, remember that the connection between you and your baby is itself a sleep aid. Research shows that babies who feel securely attached to their caregivers have an easier time transitioning to sleep. Your presence, your voice, your warmth, they lower cortisol, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system. They tell your baby's brain, it's safe to let go. So the next time your baby fights sleep, I want you to try something. Instead of thinking, why won't you just sleep? Try thinking, your brain is building something incredible right now. because that's the truth. Every night that your baby fights sleep is a night that the brain is working overtime, processing, growing, becoming. They're not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time. And the fact that you're there, holding them through it, rocking them through it, whispering to them through it, that is not nothing. That is everything. You're not failing at bedtime. You are supporting the most important construction project in the history of your child's life. Now, there's another behavior that confuses almost every parent. Your baby sees a complete stranger and lights up, smiles, reaches for them. But the moment grandma picks them up, tears, screaming, total meltdown. Most parents think the baby is rejecting family. But the science behind this behavior reveals something beautiful and completely unexpected. That's next time.